Welcome to part 5 of Tech Tools and Adaptability. In a world that's always moving, always changing, how do you actually keep up? Well, today we're going to talk about exactly that, the essential tech tools and maybe more importantly, the mindset you need to really thrive. Let's get into it. So, does it ever feel like the world is just changing faster than you can keep up? There are new apps, totally new ways of working, new expectations. It can feel like a lot. But what if I told you there's a blueprint? A way to not just survive all this change, but to actually come out on top. That's what we're going to do. We're going to build what I call an architecture of adaptability. Think of it as your personal framework for handling, well, pretty much whatever comes your way. And like any good building, we're going to start with a solid foundation. So let's talk about your 21st century toolkit. This is the foundation. And, every strong structure has to have a solid foundation. For us, that means getting a handle on the essential digital tools that have basically become the language of modern work and school.
Okay, first up, real-time collaboration. Just imagine you and your entire team all working inside the same document at the exact same time. No more emailing version 5, version 6, final version, final version, right? That's the magic of a tool like Google Docs. It is a total game changer for getting group projects done efficiently.
Next up, let's talk data. Look, information is everywhere, but the real power, that comes from being able to understand it. And Excel, it's so much more than just a spreadsheet. It's this incredibly powerful tool for organizing all that data, spotting trends you'd otherwise miss, and making smart decisions based on actual facts, not just gut feelings. And of course, in this day and age, we have to connect. Platforms like Zoom are not optional anymore. They just aren't. They are the new boardrooms, the new interview spaces, and the new classrooms. Getting really good at communicating clearly and professionally right here online is an absolutely critical skill. But look, just having the tools isn't quite enough. You've got to know how to use them smartly and safely. And that's where this idea of digital hygiene comes in. It's really just the practice of being responsible online. Protecting your personal data, managing what people can find about you, and just making sure you're communicating securely. So, we've got our foundation of tools all set. Now, how do we actually use them to build something great? Well, that brings us to the next part of our structure, the blueprint. This is all about having a structured approach to turn your plans into real success stories. You'll find that pretty much any successful project, whether it's for school or your job, follows this basic flow. First, you plan. You ask, what are we really trying to do here? Then you schedule. Okay, when does this need to be done and who's doing what? And finally, you monitor. Are we on track? What could go wrong? It's a simple but super powerful process. And to manage that whole flow, you can use awesome tools like Trello or Asana. Which one you pick really depends on what you need. Trello is amazing for visualizing everything with these simple drag and drop cards. It's great for individuals or smaller teams. Asana, on the other hand, is a bit more of a powerhouse, perfect for those really complex projects with a ton of moving parts. So, here's the key takeaway. When you combine the right tools with a clear process like this, you get a powerful framework for success. It's a system you can apply to pretty much any student or professional project to turn your ideas into reality. It's all about being deliberate with your work, not just being busy. All right, now we get to the very top of our structure, the part that holds everything else together. And this isn't a tool, it's not a process, it's a mindset. This is the heart and soul of your architecture of adaptability. Number one, you have to embrace change. The world isn't going to slow down for any of us, so our only real choice is to become more flexible. And that means staying open-minded and trying to see uncertainty not as something scary, but as a real opportunity to learn and to grow. And that leads perfectly into this next point. Learning is never, ever done. The skills that are super valuable today might not be tomorrow. An adaptable person is always learning, always on the lookout for new knowledge to stay sharp, to stay relevant in a world that just keeps evolving. And the payoff for doing this? It's huge. You become more resilient. You can bounce back from setbacks faster. You start to see more opportunities all around you because you're actually prepared for them. And maybe most importantly, you get to experience this constant personal growth. You're not just surviving change anymore. You're actually being fueled by it. So I guess the real question is, are you ready to start building? You have the foundation, you have the blueprint, and now you have the mindset. You really are the architect of your own adaptability. So go on out there, use these tools, apply these frameworks, and really work on cultivating that mindset. Don't just face the future, go out and build it. adapt, and thrive.